Hey YouTube, how you doing? Welcome to another beginner series lessons. Today we're going to talk about beginner drum fills. I think this is actually kind of a hard concept for beginners to get into because this is really where being creative and improvisation are first met. With the beginner. What I mean by that is, as I've stated before, drum set's an improvised instrument. So you're typically playing off the top of your head, creating ideas as you go. Now you are operating within the rules of time as well as the genre of music you're playing, but ultimately you're improvising. Okay, and the fills need to be improvised, okay? And that can be really tough for a beginner. I mean, just to say, okay, hey, just, play whatever, can sometimes, for many beginners, be too much freedom. So what I want to do is give a nice starting point to help you get going with this, okay? And help you be on your way to creating some really cool fills, okay? So rhythmically, we're going to be using 16th notes. That's just a good, I think, default rhythm to start with because you'll be using them a lot. So that's the rhythm we're going to be doing. Okay, so 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1. Okay, so before you even start trying to do these ideas on the drum set, I would practice just on a pad or a snare drum to a metronome. And make sure that you can play 16th notes evenly, hand to hand, right, left, in time to a metronome. So I would start there first, okay? 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1. And just see, can you keep it in time to a metronome consistently at different tempos? So once you can do that, then I would start with this video, okay? So the way that I teach beginner fills as a starting point is using a concept called groupings. Okay, and what I mean by that, groupings is just a kind of a fancy word for saying that you're going to hit one surface a certain number of times before you move to another surface. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is groupings of 4. Now again, that just means we're going to hit one surface 4 times. Then move to another surface 4 times, and then to another surface 4 times, and then to another surface 4 times. Okay, so let me give you a basic fill to kind of start off with that uses 4, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I hope that made sense. All I did was pick a surface to start on. And again, you can do these combinations in any order that you like. You can start anywhere that you like, so be creative. So I just picked a starting spot, played 4 16th notes on that surface, and then moved to another surface. Okay, the only rule that you're trying to follow here is that you have 16 16th notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So that's a good basic fill to start off with, okay? So from here, let's try some different groupings. How about groupings of 2? So groupings of 2, you'll do 2 per surface. Again, these are all 16th notes. So let me give you a couple examples of that. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Again, just hitting a surface twice before you move to a new surface, okay? All right, so those are good basic starting groupings that you can that will get you kind of going with this, okay? But you know, to really start making things interesting, you want to start trying to mix these groupings together a little bit. So let's take the 2s and 4s and mix them together, okay? So a couple examples that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go 2 4 2 4 2 2 crash. Okay, I'm also going to maybe start on the tom and do the same thing. Go 2 4 2 4 2 2 crash. Okay, and I'll do some other combinations as well, but I'll try to do them pretty slow so you can really see what I'm doing. But again, just mixing the 2s with the 4s. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. So once you start mixing these ideas, you're going to start to get some more interesting results, okay? Because mixing these two together adds some more interesting phrasing, okay? More syncopation. So again, you can start this anywhere that you want, and you can move it around anywhere you want, okay? Now, other possibilities that you can do with this is instead of going 2 4 2 4, go 4 2 4 2. So you could go. So you're going to start on the 4 side. You could go 4 2 4 2 2 2 crash, okay? Or start on the snare drum and go 4 2 4 2 4, all on the floor tom, okay? So that final 4 that I'm doing, you can do it all on one surface, or again, you can split it up into 2s if you want, okay? You could go 4 2 2 4. Okay, so you can kind of go back and forth with 2 4 or 4 2. So I'm going to do a couple of basic examples of that so you can hear it. Okay, so as you can see, you can really start to get some pretty cool ideas, okay? And still, we're just using 2s and 4s, so we're keeping it really simple, but these ideas sound great. So definitely experiment, and of course, make sure you're practicing to a metronome just to make sure that everything is in time, because that's important. That's like the most important thing. So definitely make sure you're doing that, okay? All right, so let's experiment with some other groupings. Let's try another one. Let's try 1s, grouping of 1. Okay, this is pretty easy, and 1s are definitely a grouping that's are kind of meant to be mixed with the other groupings. But I'll do a little bit of that so you can see what that sounds like. Okay, so groupings of one. Hopefully that was pretty self-explanatory. Just hitting one surface once and then immediately going to another surface. Okay. All right. So the final grouping we're going to talk about is going to be groupings of three. Now this is where things really get syncopated and really interesting, and definitely a tad more difficult. Okay. So we're going to be hitting a drum 3 times before moving to another playing surface. So to get into this, because this can be a little tricky for beginners, we're going to start with an exercise. Okay, and the exercise is we're going to start on the floor tom. We're going to do 3, then move to the snare drum for 3, to the floor tom for 3, and then to the rack tom for 3. So you're going right, left, 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 right, left. Okay? Let me play that for you so you can see what that looks like and sounds like. Okay, so there you go. So one thing you're going to notice that's interesting about groupings of 3 is that each hand is going to lead. Okay, what I mean by that is you're starting on the right hand here and you're going right, left, right. But then when you go to the snare drum, you're on your left hand. So right, left, left, back to the right, right, to the left, right, left. Okay, so each hand's getting an opportunity to lead the way, which is going to open up a lot of possibilities to move around the drum set in more interesting ways than you can do with 2s and 4s. Okay, because when you play 2s and 4s, it's your right hand that's leading every time. Right, left, 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 right, left. Okay, so it's always your right hand leading. So with the odd grouping, it allows each hand to take a turn doing that, which allows you, again, to move around the drums in some unique ways, okay? And you'll definitely notice that as you get more proficient with these odd groupings, okay? So let's turn this example into a fill, okay? So we're going to be, in all these examples, we're going to be doing 4 groups of 3s, okay? 4 groups of 3s, and if you like math, and I don't like math, but this may... for those that like math, this may help you to understand this a little bit better. Okay, there's 16 16th notes in one measure of 4/4. So if we're doing 4 groupings of 3s, that's 12. That's going to give you 4 left over. So we're going to play 4 3s and then a 4 on the end. Okay, since it's an odd grouping of notes, it's not going to resolve evenly, so we have to put that 4 on the end. Okay, and you'll see how that looks. Okay, so let's take this example and let's turn it into a fill, and I'll show you how that's going to work. Okay, so hopefully you got that. As you can tell, it's really cool, right? I mean, you're switching drums on weird counts. So this is a very syncopated fill. So I think you're going to definitely dig it. Okay, so let's try another example of this. Okay, so this next example, we're going to start on the snare. We're going to go 3 3 3 3. Okay, 3 3 3 3, and then that final 4, we're going to split up between these 2 toms and go 2 2. Okay, so it's going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So you're kind of going around the toms twice. This is a pretty cool idea. Check it out. Okay. So I hope you like that. That's definitely a really cool idea. And remember, all these examples that I'm doing for any of these groupings are just that. They're just examples, okay? They're just a couple of ways you can see the concept being used. But again, you can start these groupings anywhere that you like. You can move them around the drums any way that you like. So be creative. This is your opportunity to really work on exploring the drum set and learning how to improvise and how to be creative. So please experiment. That's how you're going to get the most out of this, okay? So let's do one final example that's going to be kind of like a graduation idea, for this lesson. Okay, now this last one's a great fill. It actually combines a couple of the groupings together. It's going to combine 3s with 1s, okay? So this is a really cool fill. It sounds great at fast speeds. I still play this fill all the time. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to play the pattern first because the pattern can be a little bit tricky. And then once I play that a little bit, I'll then turn it into a 1-measure fill. Again, remember all these ideas that we're doing in this lesson are 16th notes. So make sure you're counting 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and as you are playing. Okay, so let's check out the pattern and then I'll turn it into a fill. Well, how you like that, huh? Okay, so as you can see, that's a killer fill, and it sounds great fast, okay? So again, you're combining the groupings of 3 because the snare drum is hitting on every third 16th note while also using 1. So again, all these groupings can be mixed together, and so that's what you should do, okay? So hopefully this helps you at least have a starting point on how to brainstorm going about improvising fills. Okay. Use as much of this lesson or as little as you think you need. Okay. The ultimate goal is to improvise fills around the drums in random ways every single time. So sit there. Initially you can start off just practicing the fills by themselves. And then once you start getting a little bit more comfortable with this, add a groove to it. All right. Do 3 beats of a groove and then do a fill in the 4th bar, crash, and rinse and repeat. Okay. Or do like what I was just doing. Do 1 measure of a groove, then do the fill, rinse and repeat, trying to do the fill, a different fill every single time. That's your goal. Okay. In the beginning, you might come up with some ideas that don't sound that good to you. That's okay, and that's normal. But I promise you, the more you do it and the more you get into it, and as the muscle memory starts to kick in, you're going to start coming up with combinations that you really like, and you're going to find that you're going to be able to play them in multiple ways that sound great to you, and you'll be able to just play them off the top of your head. They'll sound fluid, and you'll love it, and you'll be on your way to improvising, okay, which is really, I think, one of the hardest parts about playing drum set is just improvising and being creative. Okay, so anyway, I hope this is a good starting point for you. I hope this helps you. Just take it slow, count, and hang in there. Okay, you can do it. All right, and we'll see you guys again soon for another beginner series lesson. All right, so take care, YouTube. We'll see you.